Hello, Temple Beth Avodah community. My name is Josh Baumer. I hope that you are all well and staying safe and healthy. This is my first Passover as a Jewish person. With the wisdom and guidance of our rabbi and the support and teaching of Cantor Susan, I was fortunate enough to complete the process of converting to Judaism in conjunction with my son Brian's bar mitzvah last June. As we approach Passover, I have been thinking a lot about what makes this night different from all others, especially as I prepare for my first Seder as a Jewish person. For me, it's all about the rituals and traditions. I have had the good fortune of being present for and participating in Passover Seders for many years, long before I converted to Judaism. My wife Nikki is Jewish, and her family has always welcomed me to their Seder table and encouraged me to participate in the rituals and traditions as much as I was comfortable. While it admittedly took me several years to fully understand the Passover story and rituals associated with a Seder, the traditions embedded in Nikki's family's Seder, including placing large collections of egg yolks on the plate of anyone who got up from the Seder table, and tossing soup nuts from the kids' table to the adult table, quickly grounded me in a sense of warmth, comfort, and belonging. I have always believed that people are a composition of the experiences we have throughout our lives, and that the traditions and rituals we make room for are a reflection of the values of our communities and what we care most about. Never has that seemed more true than now, as we celebrate Passover under these unique circumstances. In some ways, it feels right that I will participate in my first Seder as a Jewish person with just Nikki and Brian at the table with me, as they have been my greatest sources of love and support throughout my process of converting to Judaism and in every aspect of my life. I also know that the Passover story we tell, the rituals we perform, and the foods that we eat will be shared by other Jewish people around the world. And I'm aware that the act of performing these rituals and making room for these traditions brings me closer to our TBA family, whom we love so much and miss so dearly during this time, and ultimately strengthens our community and our connections with one another. I wish you all a happy, safe, and healthy Passover.
Hello everyone, and Chag Sameach. For those that don't know me, my name is Ilona Goldfarb, and I'm honored to share a Passover story of immigration and community with all of you. Due to the heroic advocacy of temple communities like TBA and many others around the United States in the late 1970s to free Soviet Jewry, and due to the generosity of the Jewish Children and Family Services Organization, my parents and I were lucky enough to immigrate to America in 1979. Although my parents did not know many of the religious Jewish traditions due to the strict prohibitions against religious practice in Soviet Russia, my parents were deeply committed to learning and finding connection to the American Jewish community. We arrived to the San Francisco Bay Area in the fall, but by spring we had been adopted by a small local shul in Lafayette, California. We were assigned to join a Havurah of 5 to 6 families who had children the same age as I was. And the first event that we were invited to was the Havurah's Passover Seder. A handwritten invitation was sent to us in the mail. Our younger listeners will be shocked to know this was pre-internet, pre-cell phone, pre-text time. Shocking to even conceive of, I know. The invitation read, "We are expecting the 3 of you at 5 o'clock. The meaning was difficult for my parents to translate, but what they understood was that we should arrive between 3 and 5. Maintaining the classic late-running Russian time, we arrived at 4. As you can imagine, our hosts were nowhere near ready for their 30-person Seder, but there we were, staring at them, and there they were, staring at us. I'm not sure if that event planted the seed for my love of Passover and the huge Seder surrounded by dear friends and multiple generations, but my parents' descriptions of the Seder scene that day, which was so foreign and unusual to them, is now such a familiar and cherished scene for me, for Jeremy, and for our children. My mother retells, as she watched from the living room, the door opening and family after family arriving, older children schlepping extra chairs, parents bringing in large platters of food, and what was most impressive to my parents was the long, long table that was set for all of us to share together that spanned the length of the house. From that day to this, I cannot be more grateful for the love and support of the Jewish community that welcomed my family and followed the most elemental Jewish principle, to love the stranger as yourself. May we all share this virtual long, long table in the retelling of the Exodus story and commit ourselves to the needs of immigrants everywhere, to be welcomed and to be loved. Next year at a real table together. Next year in Jerusalem. Chag Sameach.
One morning, Pharaoh woke in his bed.
There were frogs in my bed and frogs on my head.
Frogs on his nose and frogs on his toes. Frogs here, frogs there. Frogs here, frogs there. Frogs were jumping everywhere.
Frogs were jumping everywhere.